Hi, I'm Matt Fry, and I'll be talking about the Coca-Cola Company and the value created through packaging in their supply chain. Coca-Cola is one of the world's most recognized brands. It has operations in over 200 countries. The only countries that it doesn't have operations in is Cuba and North Korea, as you can see in the map below. They have a extremely wide supply chain, which they need to be able to deliver the 28 billion cases that they ship out annually. I'm going to give a short general overview of Coca-Cola's supply chain. Coca-Cola sources their raw materials from you know, thousands of farmers, and then they create concentrates and beverage bases and syrups. They don't actually bottle any product. They send these concentrates and syrups to their bottling partners, who then fill bottles and package them and distribute them to vendors and retail stores where the consumers then buy them. And hopefully they recycle their packaging, and the recycled packaging comes back upstream. Some of the values that customers find in Coca-Cola is a variety of different products um, that can align to their occasional needs. Something like a 2-liter bottle of Coke could be right for one situation, like a family meal, but wouldn't be great for a car ride. Whereas the 20-liter bottle or can might be a better situation. Also, a 2-liter might not be good for a backyard barbecue, but a 20 pack of Coke for the cooler would be great. And so a lot of this is from their packaging mix. Different products offer convenience, or maybe it's quantity that they want. A lot of these needs are situational, and Coke really tries to offer their product to different situational needs. Having 250 bottling partners with over 900 locations allows them to cater to the local needs of their customers. Below are some of the packaging activities that Coca-Cola supply chain has. The first one would be the concentrate and syrup put into a bag and box type container. It'd be a 1 or 2.5 or 5 gallon plastic bag with a spout on it, put into a box, which is then sent um, to customers that use soda fountains. Also, some steel containers. Um, McDonald's takes 75-gallon steel containers because they just go through so much Coke. Also, primary packaging into bottles, which can be seen in the graphic below. Filled bottles and cans, which is about 85% of the packaging that the Coca-Cola supply chain does use. Secondary packaging, the bottles are then put through stretch wrap or put in trays, possibly cartons for 12 packs or 24 packs. Also, it's worth mentioning that there is some tertiary packaging. In developing countries, they use plastic returnable trays for returnable plastic or glass, but they are cutting back on those types of operations. The strategy that Coca-Cola has is a multi-local strategy, so they have many plants many bottling plants all around the world that can be responsive to the local markets. Change recipes to specific tastes, change the packaging mix to the specific demand of the market. Um, they try to make their products in the country that they're going to be sold in so that they can be delivered faster. Um, they have a pretty good turnaround of about 48 hours from filling in a bottling plant to the store shelf. Also, these local bottling partners and suppliers have a better understanding of the infrastructure of the local countries, and they can definitely deliver the 2 billion servings that are consumed per day worldwide to their local market better than Coca-Cola can. Coca-Cola has strong relationships with its suppliers and partners. It has a pretty comprehensive audit process to become a supplier or partner in the first place. This is so that they can guarantee quality along their entire supply chain and deliver a quality product, which is why many customers choose Coca-Cola over its competitors. They also formed a global supply chain council to streamline communications with suppliers and partners. They called this the Supply Chain Exchange. This was an online platform that questions could be asked and then anyone could answer them within about a couple of minutes is the usual response time. And this has really just helped foster information sharing between Coca-Cola and their suppliers. They also have training programs for their suppliers, and this has really increased their supplier quality. When it comes to supplier risk, Coca-Cola reduces its risk by the amount of suppliers and partners that they have. So if there is a supplier issue or there's a shutdown because of a natural disaster or financial issue, they can switch the capacity of bottling plants to another location, or they can source some of their agricultural products from somewhere else. One of the biggest risks that they have is a water source risk. Water is the main ingredient of every Coca-Cola product, and they use 2 liters of water for every 1 liter of product that they produce. So they need reliable, efficient, cheap, quality water. And things like climate change and water pollution and bad infrastructure, and especially in the developing world, can be a risk to the water sources. So they come up with a water source protection plan to mitigate that. That's a plan that every single Coca-Cola plant has to come up with. Every bottling plant, every concentration syrup plant comes to with a plan with the local government to mitigate risks or overcome issues should they arise with the local water source. All right, so some value created through packaging that Coca-Cola has. One of them is their packaging mix. Like we said earlier, they have a large variety of sizes, and this can a customer can find value in depending on what kind of situation that they're in, whether they need a large 2-liter for a party or just a can of Coke for themselves in the backyard. They have many choices, and to have that choice brings value to them. Also, quantity of product when they're purchasing, whether a customer needs 12 pack or a 24 pack. Maybe they only need 6 plastic bottles. Having that option, which delivers different price points, can deliver value for the customer. Also, they use different materials. So as you can see below, there's glass and aluminum, which are a lot more premium. So it's the same product, but the customer finds value in these more premium packaging options. So value is delivered that way. Also, things like the fridge pack and the freestyle machines, which allow you to mix your different drinks, your different products of Coke yourself, and kind of create your own flavor. Another way that Coke creates value through their packaging is through advertising. Every bottle or can of Coke is an opportunity to advertise. They use sporting events or movies and holidays on the cans, which attracts fans of these events, and people even try to collect the cans. One of their biggest campaigns was a Share a Coke campaign, where they put common names on bottles and encourage people to buy them or buy names of their friends and take pictures and share them on social media. This ended up getting millions of shares on Facebook and Instagram, and getting Coca-Cola 25 million more friends on Facebook. and increased profits about 2% since the start of the campaign. Coca-Cola is also creating value through sustainable packaging. Their plant bottle is a mix of plant-based plastic and PET. It's about 30% plant-based plastic, and the rest is PET. This saves about 1 million barrels worth of oil a year. They do have a prototype for 100% plant-based plastic bottle that they've created, but it's not near ready to go into production yet. All of their packaging materials that they do use are recyclable, but they only recycle about 60% of worth of the bottles that they produce. Coca-Cola has done a good job at designing their secondary packaging for their logistical activities. As you can see, there's the pictures below that the product cubes out the pallet pretty well. This allows them to fit more product on a truck and reduces damages during shipment. Also, the primary packaging supports a lot of weight. That's the bottles and cans, so they can stack them really high without having to use tertiary packaging, which is, saves packaging costs and saves space on the pallet and truck. Coca-Cola can really improve in their recycling infrastructure. They produce well over 100 billion plastic bottles per year, and a lot of these just end up in the ocean or as waste. They don't use much recycled PET content, about 8% worldwide. The plant bottle technology is a good start, but it only uses around 7% of their products worldwide. Recycled PET is approved for food grade use in 44 of the countries that they operate in, and they need to be taking advantage of that. They don't use recycled plastic much because it's more expensive, but as an industry leader, they can afford it, and they can really, set an example and make a better cradle-to-cradle system and drive down costs eventually, and change the industry while also, protecting the environment. Another improvement I found was in their unit loads. Their 12 packs have a little bit of extra space on their pallets. They can if they reduce their 12-pack width by 1/8, they can fit an extra 30 cases per pallet. This is an increase of 15% per pallet, and it would increase truckloads by 15% as well. Also, I found that they could fit more 24 packs per pallet if they stacked their cans in 2 layers of 12 instead of just one flat 24 layer. This would increase 10% product per pallet, which also would be 10% per truckload. I visited a Coca-Cola syrup and concentrate plant in Portland, Oregon, and I was surprised to learn that they only stacked their pallets one high during shipment. This means they were shipping about 50% air. If they increase the strength of their secondary packaging, they could reduce, their trucks on the road by about 50%, doubling the amount of product that they ship out. They would have to do extensive testing, distribution, packaging testing, but it could definitely be worth it. If they find that they can't do that, they can definitely increase their pallet height without a change to their packaging, their current supplier, so that they can stack 7 high safely. They currently stack their boxes 5 layers high. The reason they can't stack higher is because in the warehouse they were getting some product damage when double stacked. If they implemented a racking system. They could stack 7 high and put that second layer of pallets up on a rack. Yes, this would possibly create more time in handling, but it would increase their product and shipment by 40%. So in conclusion, Coca-Cola has a pretty widespread supply chain. This is how they get their 8 billion cases of Coca-Cola delivered worldwide. They use local bottling partners and franchises to be responsive and deliver to local markets. They get value through market mediation, having a large packaging mix. It's pretty much having any option that a customer could want for any type of situation that they might be in. And we've identified a few improvements that can be made in distribution that could save them a decent amount of money. And Coke is taking steps towards sustainability with actions like the plant bottle, but they do have a long way to go, and they need to be a bit more of a sustainable company and secure their most precious resource, which is water.